Alright, so my name is your favorite shooter, aka Destinee, and I am here with the lovely Sky. We are all basically a part of a production company, and with this, I guess I should say, with this documentary, we are setting up to discuss the one percenters. And when I say the one percenters, I'm talking about those that basically suffer in silence. They are telling their story. They are bringing to you the different just disease or different ideals that they go through every day as a one percenter. Myself, as well as Sky, we are all within that, I guess, how should I say, that section of people who go through these things, and we're going to just bring to life right now what we go through and how we basically just make it through the day. Alright, so as we sit at this lovely park, we are discussing, like I said, the one percenters. And I just want to ask you, when you were diagnosed, before we even get into talking about what you have and or what even I have, how did you feel when you were diagnosed?
Well, it kind of felt like the rug was swept out from under me. Like I was passing out of school, I didn't know what to do, and it was just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And it was just doctor after doctor after doctor. So many people said it was just because I was overweight, and I'm just like,
oh my gosh, I got that.
And it wasn't until me and my mom, we finally were just like, okay, there's obviously something really wrong with you. We're going to take you to a hospital in Chicago, and they're going to tell you. And then it happened, and it was just like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
Yep, I understand that. Now, what were you diagnosed with? What even makes you a part of the 1% group?
So, I actually have 6 chronic illnesses in total.
Okay.
The first one that I was diagnosed with at 17 is a heart condition called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is basically when I stand up, instead of blood rushing to my head like it's supposed to, it rushes to my feet. So dizziness, passing out, stuff like that. The second one was Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a joint kind of like all over disorder.
Okay.
Where I don't produce collagen, which is, from what the doctor told me, the glue that holds the body together. So the way it affects me is my joints are all weird, my skin is super elastic, it affects my digestive system, it affects my reproductive system. It depends on the person. Those are just where it affects me. And then next was actually 2 diagnoses in the same day, was arthritis and fibromyalgia.
Oh wow.
And then I got diagnosed with endometriosis, and now I'm currently going through the diagnosis of getting diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, or MS. And those, my body doesn't work, is what me and my friends say.
Oh, I understand. I think a lot of my friends used to say that too when they first found out. A lot of them, to this day, still don't even know. I just told my friend I've known since like high school. She just found out, I want to say, maybe a month ago. I actually told her about it. And it was just so interesting to hear the comments. Oh my God, I didn't even know. I'd be like, yeah.
Well, it's like with most of those things, I didn't even know what they were until I was diagnosed.
Right, and then for me, my diagnosis, I guess I'll just go ahead and say is called hidradenitis suppurativa. It's a autoimmune disease that affects basically your glands or whatever you want to say. So it's like you get abscesses and different, I guess I should say lumps or growths or whatever, depending on the person and where it could be, which leads to having chronic pain. So I'm usually in chronic pain every day.
Yeah.
So like there was a point in time, I know from my own life, like where I was basically like medicating myself because I didn't have the time or the resources or the people who believed like what I had.
Yeah,
I was misdiagnosed.
It's basically the same thing for me. So Ehlers-Danlos is an autoimmune disorder, so it's arthritis and fibromyalgia, and MS as well. And they're currently doing research on whether my heart condition, POTS, is an autoimmune disorder, so I totally get that. It's just like what do I need to do to feel like an actual human?
Right. And then with autoimmune diseases, there's so many different things that can make it go up and down. You have a good day, and then you can have a bad day. You could have, literally within the same day, it can go from I could wake up great to literally 3 hours later, I'm in pain where I can't even move.
Yeah.
So I do get.
I totally get that, especially with being a movie maker and a filmmaker. It's just like you gotta start off that day just 100%, because by the time you're done, you're all gone.
Yeah.
You're sleeping for the next 2 days.
Like, I do different graduation shoots as well. So when we're doing those and traveling, oh my gosh, I guess the hours that you put into that, and then the realization of the pain that you're gonna feel afterwards, it's just.
Even driving's a whole other thing.
That's a whole ordeal. Don't let it be during a flare-up time.
Yeah, or else you're in bed all day.
Like, I've literally had to, when I first got diagnosed, I think I was in my early 20s. Now I was in my early 20s. And that's when they finally figured out what it was. Because I went through years of them thinking, oh, it was just because of my weight. I went through so many testings. I got my blood drawn so much. Like, I literally could tell y'all where the vein was here.
With the POTS, I have a blood disorder too, because POTS makes you more likely to be anemic.
Okay.
So I am anemic, and so it's like all those blood draws, I would get so dizzy that I couldn't even, I'd have to bring my mom or someone else because I wouldn't be able to drive myself home.
Yep. That's how Kayla would end up coming with me to take me to my different doctor's appointments, or at that time, depending on if my mom was available, or honestly, I would just end up having to drive myself. So I would sit there and pull myself together. Not even gonna lie, I have to pull myself together or smoke a blunt. I am a smoker.
So much apple juice.
Like, it's so much to do to just get yourself to be able to drive your car. And for me, like, I live on the second floor, so to go down those stairs at times with flare-ups, it's a lot.
Same.
It's a lot, which is how I ended up having to understand I can't do this business by myself, because I particularly cannot and physically cannot be everywhere at one time, especially during the times where I had flare-ups. Like, if there's a high stress time, like, what was it, when we were shooting once? Yeah. I'm not going to say the project because it's not out yet, it's in post. But when we were shooting, I actually had it to where I did not, like, physically, I shouldn't have been there. But I'm going to make it work.
I totally understand that. Especially, I used to work at Walmart before I went into college, and there's so many days I was popping, how many pills? 3 or 4 a day, and it was just insane. And it wasn't even enough. At some points, it was I was prescribed ibuprofen 800s, and it wasn't even enough. I was taking them 2-3 times. Yeah. 2 pills at that, because it was it's too much. And then it got to the point where I started to become dependent on the pills to just make it through the day. Yeah, no, I totally got it. There was a point, my freshman year of college, where I was still getting into, like, being in college, and I was just in pain every day. I got, like, addicted to gabapentins. See? Because those are, like, the strong shit, and I just, thankfully, I've gotten out of that. I'm only taking them as needed now, because my body's used to it now. But it was just, that's how I am with I couldn't go a day without pills. Yeah, it was definitely that day, and then it comes to where your body actually feels the dependency. So where it's more so, not only does my body need it to control the pain, but I also need it because I'm feeding it. Yeah. So there's that next problem where I have to break that dependency on the pain pills that's over here trying to save my life. So that I do. Especially in the opioid epidemic we are now, it's just, at what point do you draw the line to, I need this, versus, like, what it actually is with the opioid epidemic, where it's just like, I need these pills to survive. Absolutely. So, Sky, and today, with all the things that we've discussed, and the crisis, and just how we've become dependent, even trying to survive, how do you survive now? How do you get through those crises? How do you get through those flare-ups? How do you get through the chronic pain that we go through? How do you it's definitely still a day-by-day basis. Tell me about it. On my bad days, I do usually still take pills, but I don't take them as bad as I used to. Okay. I'll take 1 gabapentin and I'll stop there because I know that I don't want to be taking more, and then I have 2 other pain medications I take, whereas the gabapentin isn't enough. I can take those as well. But I keep my body working. Obviously, the filmmaker, which is a very labor-intensive job. I'm a dancer. I've been dancing for 16 years, and it has been my godsend.
It's crazy because the things that we love are the things that keep us also in the pain. Because I know for myself, like I do photography, I do events all the time, so it's more so I'm always moving.
Yeah.
And whereas my disease is more so bedridden. Like every research I've done, everyone that I've come across that has my disease is for the most part suffering from another disease on top of it, and then from what we have will result into other ones. So for me, not only like with the skin disease, like I have like where it's leading into like giving me back problems, because I have like one that's like a persistent one that literally, I'll never forget. I'm gonna give this backstory where I think I was in college or just graduating, and that's when I was really on medication a lot, and I was just getting into understanding the importance of and how to take Humira, because that's the one that they have me on. And that one, oh my god, with the ibuprofen, I literally fainted, like passed out of the shower because I was like profusely bleeding.
Yeah, no,
one of them.
I understand that. There's been so many times where I've passed out in the shower. And it was just, I didn't even know. Like I woke up on the floor and I was like, what the heck? Like what the hell just happened? And I had to go to the hospital, like find out and bruised my ribs and almost like broke my kneecap. Like it was pretty bad. And at least like with my heart condition, I can usually catch myself before I'm like completely out. So in the situations, because my bathroom has the rails in it. Okay. Because
see, I don't have it.
You need them, and then it's just, if I feel myself going down, I just sit, I grab a rail, and then I just let my body do what it needs to do. Okay. Because usually, I looked into the science a little bit of passing out. It's basically just your body needs to reset. Okay. Sort of thing. Okay. And so it's just, okay, let me take a minute, let me do what I need to do, just calm down, let my heart get back to normal. Okay.
See, that I can understand, because for myself, that's how I learned, I guess, to more so cope for myself. So for you, you actually learned your body and how to handle it. For me, the way I had to learn it was, I didn't want to be on medications anymore, like that as far as like pain meds. So I ended up turning to smoking. So I smoked marijuana, and that right there, for me, I know like the pain that it relieves. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, no, I totally
it
helps. It helps certain people.
I personally cannot smoke weed because of my heart, but I'm all for the legalization of weed because it helps so many people. Even my mom is on weed now, and she just feels a whole lot better because she has a lot of the similar.
Like as far as like people who go through that type of chronic pain where it doesn't actually affect your heart, it affects everything else. Marijuana is like one of the biggest helps I would ever say, especially like for those like I know for sure like people who suffer from different cancers and stuff like that, and like people who have eating disorders also, it helps. Yeah, it helps severely. And for me, I don't know where I would be. I would probably still be stuck in the bed, to be honest.
Same.
Still be in the bed somewhere because that's the only reason I can get up. Yeah. So yeah, like I completely understand. And with that being said, I want to thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, we're going.